All right, so I just want to welcome you to the free online event, The Accidental Artist. And the whole purpose of this event is to basically learn how art can enrich your life and unleash that creative person inside all of us. So today I am so honored and so excited to have Margaret Keane here with us. And just a wonderful lady and a wonderful, fabulous artist. And I'm so happy to have you. So welcome, Margaret. So we're gonna
Oh,
so we're gonna get started. Do you want to tell us, Margaret, a little bit about you and what you do?
oh, well, I'm an artist and I paint mostly children and older girls and animals.
And
They all have large eyes, or most of them.
and how long have you been painting, Margaret?
Well, I think I painted my first painting when I was around 10. I've been drawing ever since I can remember, but the first oil painting I was about 10 and I'm now 87. So it's been a
Oh,
long time.
I always tell, I teach school too, and I always tell my students, art's something you can do forever. And so that's really cool. So you still paint today?
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That makes me so excited as an artist myself to think, I have so many years of painting ahead of me.
I didn't understand. You're an artist too?
Yes, I'm a painter too. And so it makes me excited to think, I'm 35 right now, to think I have so many years of painting ahead of me.
Yes, yes. Well, you're just a spring chicken.
I don't know. My daughter wouldn't say that. She would say I was old.
Yeah.
Well, so you started painting at 10, and kind of the paintings you do, with the big eyes, what inspired that?
Well, I think the greatest artist, Jehovah, we're surrounded by his creations and his marvelous imagination and all the beauty. And that's what constantly inspires me. Everything I see kind of inspires me, especially faces and flowers and plants, trees. Color combinations inspire me sometimes, patterns in nature, and other artists inspire me, but mostly Jehovah's creations.
Oh, wow. So do you think you spend like a lot of time outside looking at nature for your next paintings?
Well, I do a little tiny bit of gardening, and I try to get outside in the sunshine and walk around in the garden every day. Yes, I'm always looking for things.
Have you noticed, like, do you still try to paint every day, or is it more of like once a week, or how often do you think you still actually create art?
Oh, and I try to paint every day, at least a little while. It's hard to stop, but I'm always ready to start whenever I have a little time. And I just have to fight to have time to paint. There's so many interruptions and things, but the things you have to do to survive. But I just paint every chance I get, every minute, and I manage to paint a little bit almost every day.
Wow, that's some discipline.
Well, it's not discipline. It's just what I want to do all the time. And I have to just do it whenever I possibly can.
Yeah, that's really neat. Oh, well, Margaret, do you have maybe like a favorite quote or a favorite book or maybe a favorite movie you want to share with our audience?
A favorite book or what?
Or maybe a favorite quote, or maybe a favorite movie?
Well, I think Big Eyes is my favorite movie.
Yes, I love that movie too.
Yeah. I like books about artists, you know. My favorite artists, Botticelli and Modigliani and Van Gogh and Gustav Klimt. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. These are some of my favorite artists, and I like books about them.
Oh, that's good. Do you see that art has changed over the past 50 years? Do you see any changes with how art has been over the past 50 years?
Oh, yes, a lot of changes, and especially the trend now is more toward realism, as everything was abstract back then. And it's a kind of amazes me how cartoon type art is so popular, and especially when there's so many cartoon type big eye art around. That's amazing to me. And at first I didn't like it, but I'm kind of beginning to like it too.
Yeah, they were inspired by you.
I think the art is going in all different directions. It's exciting. I like those space things, how artists are working with space is interesting to me too.
Right. Yeah, and it seems like, I don't know if this is the case, but do you find that, like whenever I saw the movie, were women kind of accepted as artists back then, or were they not as accepting of women being artists?
I can't quite understand that. Are they as accepting today of artists?
Like back then, like whenever I was watching the movie Big Eyes, like back then, were they accepting of women as artists in that time, or is it?
No, women were usually home, supposed to be taking care of the children, and the men were, out in the marketplace and doing exciting things and painting and being artists. People didn't really take their art seriously then. I think there was a lot of prejudice against women.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, your stuff is so gorgeous. I'm so glad that you kept at it.
Well, down through the ages, there have always been a few women artists, but few and far between, mostly men.
Right. So, Margaret, who do you look up to?
I couldn't understand that.
Who do you look up to?
Who do I look up to?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, first of all, Jehovah and his word, the Bible. But are you meaning other artists?
Yeah, or just anybody. It can be whoever.
Yeah, well, my greatest inspiration is Jehovah and his word and his creations. But I do like that James Turrell, the artist that does those space things. I think those are fascinating. Very interesting. And there's a Japanese artist I like. Yep, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Yoshitomo Nama, something like that. And I don't like all of his stuff, and some of it's very angry, but I like his huge faces of children. They're very sensitive, and I really like them. And then I already mentioned the other artists I like Botticelli and Van Gogh and Modigliani.
Right.
I like the drawings of, maybe the names Charles Weiss. He was a black artist and did a lot of drawings of black people I really like. They're very strong. And I think he died, but I like his drawings very much.
Right. Did you always kind of draw portraits? Because, like, that's my struggle, is drawing faces. Did that just come natural to you, just drawing faces?
I think it did, yes. That's what I was most interested in and what I wanted to do. And of course the eyes, I think are the most interesting part of the face. So I was drawn to the eyes.
Yeah, they're so interesting just to look at, the depth you add to them.
I used to, I'm always scribbling and doodling. And it's usually eyes, noses, or mouths.
Yeah, and on your paintings, do you usually draw it first and then paint over? Or do you just start painting?
I usually do a little thumbnail sketch. And if I like that, then I usually sketch it to the size I want it. And then I trace it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll look at the sketch and do it freehand within charcoal. But if it's a large canvas, I'll do it to the size and then trace it. Because I make a lot of, while I'm drawing it, I keep altering it, It's easy to do it small and then enlarge it.
Right. And kind of make sure what you're doing and make sure you like it first.
Yes. But if I don't, it'll end up looking out of proportion or something, won't balance or,
Yeah.
I kind of work out the compositions. I think is the most important thing. If that's not right, it's not going to work, no matter how good you paint. It's got to be balanced, and the composition has to be right.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So, Margaret.
It's like a house. The foundation has to be there first for it to hold up.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So you kind of sketch it, and then you make sure you like it, and then you can put it on the canvas and make your adjustments. Because I've never used charcoal, so you actually draw on the big canvases with your charcoal?
I draw I trace it, and then I go over it lightly in charcoal, get it the way I want it, and then I go over the charcoal very lightly with a thin wash. I paint mostly in acrylic now, so mix a lot of water and a little bit of color and go with the charcoal very lightly, just outline it, and then I start painting.
Did you always use acrylic, or were you using oil before?
No, I used oil until about 2 years ago. I hated acrylic, and watercolor I didn't like, but I loved oil. But I guess I got too much of it in me, and I got allergic to something in oil paint. I can't even stand the smell of it anymore. I'm really allergic. So I had to quit painting in oil, and I just couldn't live without painting, so I had to relearn how to paint all over again in acrylic. But now, I really like acrylic. In fact, I think I like it better than oil, because I can do more with it.
Really?
But it's a struggle, but I can put an oil painting beside one of my acrylic paintings, and you can't tell the difference, except maybe the acrylic is better.
Wow. So what do you, because I'm an acrylic painter, and I've painted in oils before, but they were, I think because they took so long to dry, and I'm an impatient person, I guess, I was struggling. So what are kind of your, things you found that you love about acrylics that might help a painter like me?
So I use a golden open. If it says open on the tube, that means it takes much longer to dry. It's more like oil paint. It's very easy to work with, and it stays wet longer. It just acts just like oil. And then I use the gel gloss. I mix that sometimes in it a little bit, but sometimes I just use the acrylic open. I can't think of the word. The gel, but that's the medium,
Mm-hmm.
You can get for acrylic.
Oh, like the medium?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I like the medium or the light gel, not real heavy. But I use a little bit of that sometimes with blending.
Does it make it shiny?
It can blend, very, very thin it like watercolor, or you can use it thicker. And of course, I'm still learning how to use acrylic, but I really like the golden open. The regular acrylic dries too fast for me.
Right. That's perfect you said this, because this whole online event is all about, no matter where you are in life, no matter what your age, whatever, art can enrich your life somehow. And so it's so cool to hear that, just 3 years ago, you're kind of reteaching yourself how to paint with a whole new medium. So thank you for saying that.
It was a case of necessity. I just had to. I sure didn't want to. But, when you try something new, it helps you in all different, like I tried sculpting a little bit, and that helped me in painting, and it all blends you and helps you, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Is painting still fun to you after all this time?
Oh, yes, I'd rather paint than anything. I get so much fun out of it. It's even more fun, I think, the older I get. It's just fascinating to me. And it's challenging, and I'm always surprised how it turns out.
Really?
I really don't know how I do it. It's really and truly a gift from God. It's just marvelous to be able to create something and paint. To start out with a blank canvas and end up with something that's totally surprising.
Yeah, that's so exciting, because we just had an art show today with our school, and I saw so many different art pieces, and, I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to get home and buy these materials so I can make this, and, I get so, so excited about creating stuff, and it's good to hear that, it lasts forever that way,
Yeah, Yes, yes. And the wonderful thing about painting is you can keep doing it when you get old, you know?
Yeah.
You get better.
Yeah, all the skills you've learned, you're just, adding those on top of more skills. And yeah, that's so, so awesome. So, Margaret, what would be maybe your advice for an artist that's just starting out?
Well, my advice to anyone who's starting out is to always put God first in your life, not art. And I think if you want to be truly happy, the Bible shows you how. And if you read the Bible every day and pray about it, use God's name, and the Bible promises everything you do will succeed. This is in the first Psalm, verse 3. 1 through 3 kind of gives you the secret of how to be happy. That's extremely important. If you want to find out more about what the Bible really teaches, I would want people to go to the website, jw.org. And God is the source of all creativity, and you can't get a better teacher. And He gave us this marvelous gift, our different talents are all gifts from Him. So He can tell you how to use them and be successful. So that's the advice I would give. And thank God every day for the gift of life and for your talent.
Yeah, and to use our gifts,
And most people don't give them any credit at all.
Yeah, definitely. I believe too that we're given gifts, and it's our choice whether to use them or not. And when we choose to use them, we can do the right thing with them and just shine for God. So that's wonderful.
Yes.
Oh. Well, do you have any last thoughts for our listeners? I know people are going to be so excited to hear from you, and just anything else you want to say before we go?
I'm not good at talking.
I put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
I can't think of anything. I think you covered a lot of good things. I just really can't emphasize enough to put God first in your life. That's the first commandment, to love God with your whole heart, mind, and soul. And that's very important. And fame and money or anything else in life, nothing can compare with having a good conscience with God. Don't ever tell a lie. I learned that lesson very well. And not even a little white lie. Don't ever tell a lie.
Yeah, I bet you're glad you have that lesson under your belt.
Yes.
Well, I've had so much fun. I think I was, kind of teared up earlier, just so thankful to talk to you. And as an artist, to talk to somebody who's, paved this way and done so much wonderful stuff with their art through their life, it just really inspires me. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for telling me that.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome. I've been so excited to talk to you, and I just know our listeners are going to be excited to hear your voice. So I appreciate all you do. And again, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed talking to you.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be talking with you soon.